In the last 48 hours, we've seen an airplane catch fire in Australia. We've seen a plane land and crash in Korea. We've seen a plane from Jamaica land and catch fire. We've seen an airplane had a bird enter the engine and had to make an emergency landing. We see another airplane took off from LaGuardia Airport and then had to make an emergency landing because the wheels stopped working as soon as they took off. What the fuck is going on with aviation this week?
A crew member has been killed after a cargo plane crashed in Lithuania, skidding into a house and bursting into flames. A security camera catching the dramatic moment the plane hit the ground. 3 others on board the flight survived the crash, along with 12 people who were inside the house. The plane, flying from Germany, was due to land at the Vilnius airport when it crashed a few kilometres from the runway.
A helicopter has crashed just moments after takeoff in Turkey, killing everyone on board. The medical chopper was en route to pick up a patient when it struck a building at the hospital and crashed to the ground. 2 pilots, a doctor, and another medical worker on board were killed. No one inside the hospital was injured. The accident happened during heavy fog.
America, you gotta ask yourself what's going on. In the past 24 hours, there's been 3 plane crashes in different parts of this world. And in all 3 of these plane crashes, there's been something wrong with the landing gear, causing a failure for the plane to be able to land. A Dutch KLM flight from Norway to the Netherlands was experiencing hydraulic system failure and had to make an emergency landing with 182 people. Right before that, you had the plane that crashed in South Korea, killing 179 people. This plane was also experiencing landing issues. We all know that the video is floating around. I'm not going to put it up here. It's very graphic. You can see in the video that the plane landed and skidded on a runway and crashed. And also, an Air Canada flight experienced a suspected landing gear issue after arriving at Halifax Stanfield International Airport in Nova Scotia on Saturday night. And on this plane, it was heavy fire and heavy smoke. Luckily, nobody was injured.
We have breaking news as we come on the air this morning. A plane crash in South Korea has taken the lives of 179 people. That's all but 2 of the people on board as it made a runway crash landing. For the very latest on this tragedy, we turn to ABC News Transportation.
To some breaking news now, and a Jetstar plane has had to make an emergency landing after one of its wheels was damaged on takeoff in Sydney. It was forced to circle off the coast to burn up fuel for an hour and a half before touching back down, where it was met by a huge emergency response. The flight, JQ-27, was bound for Phuket with up to 250 passengers on board.
I don't know if it's just me, but for the last few days, I have been having this weird feeling like something big is about to happen, right? Like this weird feeling of impending doom. I have been having this crazy feeling like in my belly. I don't know what it is, okay? To be brutally honest, I feel like something is already happening. And here's why. For the last few days, there have been crazy reports of dense, thick fog in many states all over America, in addition to the UK. Now, this is not your regular fog, because a lot of people have been reporting that they have been seeing some weird type of mist coming out of the sky with this fog, okay? In addition to that, there have been 4 plane crashes, y'all, within the last 5 days, okay? 3 of those plane crashes occurred within the last 24 hours. You had one on Christmas Day in Kazakhstan, and then within the last 24 hours, you had one in South Korea, Nova Scotia, as well as Norway. In addition to that, y'all, so many people have been reporting this weird sickness, whereas though they're having muscle soreness, sore throat, body aches, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, the whole 9. And they said that this sickness had just been coming out of nowhere. I don't know about you, but I feel like something big is happening or about to happen, and these people just are not telling us. What are your thoughts? I don't know if...
What is going on, man? This is December 28th, Sudbury, Ontario. Like, we're in the middle of Ontario. Never seen it like this before. Foggy. I haven't seen the sky in days. Actually, it's been a while. And when I do see the sky, it's not for long. I've never seen fog. 28th of December. It's been raining now for a day. It's supposed to rain till tomorrow.
We're going to look at the sky together, and you're going to tell me if it looks like a normal sky. Mind you, it has looked like this for days. I can't see anything in the sky because there is something covering it. What is this? I am in South Florida, and you cannot see shit. You literally, like, besides, like, the street lights, like, truly. The whole sky is fogged out. I'm in South Florida. I know that this is happening in other states because
Okay, so here's the fog in Montana. This is not normal even for Montana. It was not like this 20 minutes ago. Yes, it is snowing, but in between the snow, you can see like this misty, like steam thing. And then my husband said that there's this smell of like burning plastic. I can't smell shit right now because I'm like all stuffed up. I'm sick. But this fog is crazy.
I'm starting to see people talking about the fog finally. I've been saying it for over a month because it's been here for literally months. It has been foggy for months. We might get a 10-minute break during the day around noon, and then it rolls back in.
So does anybody else just feel like they should be walking around wearing a fucking gas mask? Like, what is happening in the UK at the minute with the weather? Because all this fog has been here for about 5 days now, and it is literally not budging. And I have never seen a fog like this, what stayed for longer than 5 days.
But this is fucked up. It smells. Can't see shit.
On January 11th and 10th, we will experience some of the coldest temperatures we've seen in a very long time. The entire southeast will be plunged into negative temperatures for wind chill. Asheville area is looking to get 10 inches of snow, as low as 4, but up to 10, but any amount of snow is going to be pretty considerable. And we are not going to see temperatures for over 25 degrees for over 48 hours, and as low as 14, maybe lower. And that is the day the FEMA vouchers expire. So are we really going to boot out 5,000 people into truly, truly fatal cold? It blows my mind. Is anybody in FEMA even looking at the correlation between the weather in 2 weeks and this release of 5,000 people onto the street?
They were born into war and now dying in the cold. Newborns in Gaza are struggling to survive the winter temperatures. Aaron McLaughlin has tonight's original reporting with a warning. Some of the images are very tough to see.
At the Al-Mawasi refugee camp in southern Gaza, Mahmoud Al-Fasih gently cradles the body of his 20-day-old baby girl. He's bringing Sila to the doctor, not for a checkup, but to confirm her cause of death. Mahmoud says he found Sila early in the morning, her body frozen and blue. The doctor quickly confirms what the family already knew.
She was in the tents due to...
With David Muir. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Wade Johnson in for David. We begin tonight with more than 50 million people bracing for dangerous weather from coast to coast during one of the busiest travel periods of the holiday season. These dramatic images here of multiple tornadoes touching down just outside of Houston, people running for safety. At least 5 tornadoes tearing through Texas. Those storms causing significant damage, now marching to the northeast, bringing freezing rain and ice to parts of the I-95 corridor, including Hartford and Boston. That weather threatening millions of travelers hitting the roads and flying this weekend. What it could mean for your New Year's Eve plans.
We're back with some breaking news now out of Puerto Rico, where nearly 90% of the island has been hit by a major power outage on New Year's Eve. Right now, more than 1.2 million people there are without power, according to energy company Luma. We just got this video showing the main power plant there, this electrical power plant in San Juan earlier this morning. The energy company saying the cause is still under investigation, but that preliminary findings point to an issue with an underground power line. The company says it could take up to 48 hours for power to be fully restored.
This is really bad. Holy shit.
Somebody's underneath the road, Jeff.
The port that's on fire is the Delta port. It is responsible for exporting 20 million tons of coal every single year. See, the Liberals promised 3 years ago that by year 2030, so just 5 years...
Man, this is just me. Is anybody else glad the holidays is over with? Man, I'm tired of all the fake shit. Tired of all the Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, you know, Merry Happy Holiday. Tired of all that BS. Get back to not speaking when you see somebody. Get back to not talking to folks you don't normally talk to. Now all we gotta do is get through this cold weather. Even though it ain't that cold down here in Alabama, but I just hate this time of the year. Anybody else?
Jerry, Jimmy, our showers breaking the Woo! Man, I'm just bro.
Whoa, we got colors,
bro. There's a drone over there. It was flying.